and a very warm welcome to the Real Talk, yet another edition that I'm all excited about. You see me? I'm wearing the bunny, whatever they call this thing, because it's the season. Merry Christmas. The other day, the Christmas tree was put to light. Is that what they call it? They switched on the lights, the Christmas tree light, at the convention center, and we were all there. It was packed. Oh my goodness. And then the following day, we wake up and all the kids are saying, Merry Christmas. To them, it was the 25th. And yet it was the first. A warm welcome to the show. My name is Jackie, and our guest is Mfuranzima Fred. Let's see him just a bit. Welcome to the show. We are at Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kiyovu. They have the festive season package. Follow them on their different social media pages to know what they have for you between now and the 31st of December. Hotel Mythos on Twitter and atmosphere_KGL. Fred is a poet. He's a writer. What else are you, Fred?
I'm an activist.
You're an activist as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me.
How have you been?
Fine.
Good.
I've been fine. So that we are at the end of the year, so
It gets busy.
it's getting busy. Yeah.
It gets busy. Yes, because I know even now you've just arrived in Kigali. I'm
Yeah.
glad that you actually kept your promise to
Thank
show
you
up.
very much.
Thank you for that. Fred, before you became the famous
No.
Mfuranzima Fred that we know today, one who stands on stages and entertains multitudes of people, where does your story begin? Let's talk about you, where you were born, what kind of childhood you had, what kind of family you were raised in.
Okay. I have born in the south part of Rwanda. It was called before, Butare. So that's where I have born in 1997, and we moved to Kigali with my family later on. I believe in 2008.
The family moved.
Yeah, we moved to live here in Kigali, and that's where I've grown, but in different locations because we're not staying at one place.
Okay.
One day here, one day there, so I stayed in different places, which
Why were you moving?
you know, in Kigali, some people, if you don't have your own house,
You're
you're
renting.
supposed to always to move, so we was moving everywhere.
Yeah.
And,
So you lived in different
Yeah,
places.
different places, yeah.
Which one was your favorite? Growing up, where did you enjoy your childhood most?
Remera. Because it was that was where I spent most of my childhood.
Okay.
We moved to different houses, but the same place, Remera, and later on we go to other places, Kimirongo, Kabeza, Chichukiro, Nyamirambo.
So
So
nice.
it's everywhere.
Kichukuru is where I stayed.
All right.
Yeah, I loved it. I've been living there for a while.
Okay.
How many children are you in the family?
We are 4.
Are you the firstborn or
Yeah,
the
I'm
last?
the firstborn.
You're the firstborn. Okay, it's a young family, yeah?
Yeah, it's a young family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Any childhood memories that you want to share with us? When you think of your time as a child, even if it involves the movement from one place to another.
Yeah, the movement.
Yes.
I really hate to move.
You hated to move.
I think they affect me somehow because I don't like to move most of the time, and I don't have much memories because I always have different memories with some people. When you are a child, in order to have the memories that you can recall when you are old is when you stay at one place for a long time.
Yes, and create those friendships.
Yeah,
and
friendships, and yeah. But for me, we stay there for some times and then we move. So it makes hard for me to have childhood friends, to have childhood memories at the same place. So I have a lot of them, which created another amazing experience as well.
Yes.
to know, to live with different people, with different lifestyles, different understandings, different backgrounds. Yeah.
This movement, how did it affect your schooling?
Yeah, I changed
school
schools a lot. I changed the schools a lot, and sometimes I forgot some schools I went to. I don't remember some of them.
What kind of student were you? As a child going to school, were you the one that would be pushed all over the place
No,
to focus on books, or did you
no,
do it
I
on
was
your own?
I was not pushed because I really love to learn new things in my whole life. I really love to study,
Okay.
and it would be very hard if if it was not about love. I don't think I would be able to start with those movements.
Yeah,
Sometimes you
yeah.
quit
Yeah, you would
and
give up.
you give up. Changing is somehow hard. That's how I can say.
Yeah.
So I really love to study.
Okay.
That's why I even finished to study in
Yeah.
high school and university. Yeah.
You finished high school, you went to university?
Yeah, I'm still even a student
Oh,
right
you're
now.
still a student.
Yeah.
Where are you studying?
Studying. I'm sorry, I'm not staying in school.
Okay.
But it's not in Rwanda-based school, so
Alright.
I'm
And you're
into.
studying online?
No, I just
Or
go
you
and
keep
pass the
traveling
band so
and-
far. Yeah,
Okay.
but
We wish you the best with that.
thanks. So I'm into peace building and also art therapy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. I follow quite a bit of your work, and I know that you're strong in peace building. We
Yes.
will come to that, yeah?
Okay.
What I want to know is, while at school, did you involve yourself in any co-curricular activities?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Like
Which
ones?
I used to lead some clubs in school. Be public speaking clubs. Be easy writing clubs. Be never again. I been in never again clubs. Sometimes in ILG. Sometimes in anyway any club.
Different,
And
yeah.
I also
What about
studied.
sports? Did you
Yes,
do any
but yeah,
sports?
I did sport. I even played football when I was in my high school. I really
Nice.
good sports in football.
You
I
played
went
in the school team?
yeah, in school, even in APR FC, I played in APR.
Played
when I
even in
was,
APR?
Yeah,
Oh,
in
nice.
academy of the academy, but it didn't end very well. I quit football.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also started my own club when I was in high school, which was called, I remember, they say, Right Rwanda for Peace.
Huh?
Yeah,
It's a
and the
football
school
club.
supported, no, it's a writing club when I
writing
was
club.
in high school.
Okay.
And the school supported it. Yeah.
That is amazing. Okay, so let's talk. You know, you've mentioned sports, you've mentioned writing. I want you to tell me about poetry. Let me take off my Christmas bunny,
Yeah.
but we'll still have it somewhere here because it's the season.
Yes.
I want to know if were you reciting poems? Were you writing them?
Now, I was writing them,
Okay.
not citing. But my first published book came when I was in high school. I published a book called Rwanda It means like a letter from Tutsi Hill. So it's a collection of history, testimonies, and pictures of the raid called Rusatira. It's a place in southern province. It's where they have genocide memorial site, which have a lot of number of people buried there, victims of the genocide against Tutsi. And I went there, I was like, this place is carrying heavy history, and there is no book, there is nothing to tell what is really happening. And I came up with the idea to write those stories, and been supported by Ibuka and CNLG to collect all those formations. And that is the first book I come up to write.
Okay.
Yeah. I was in senior 5.
In senior 5 when you
Yeah.
wrote your first book?
Yes.
My God. How many books have you written so far?
5. Mine, but there are some children books I write for other publishers.
For other publishers.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. You know, you're a fusion of things. As you are at a very young age, you're a fusion of culture, of
Yes.
art,
Yeah.
storytelling, poetry, and activism. So all these things, did they happen at the same time? Is it a discovery you made gradually? When did you discover this gift
I
in
think
you?
it comes just like that. I don't know when and where.
You just found yourself doing
Yeah, I
it.
just find myself into it. And because when I was young, I thought of myself being a football player. I was not seeing myself writing or do this of poetry, writing, art. I do even painting. but I think it just come like that. I can do both very well if I want to, but it is so challenging when you become successful into one. They all push you to still do that. But for me, I really like to work in community-based projects, which I spend much of my time in. But I finally find myself as well in poetry, in arts, in yeah, in literature like that.
Who was your inspiration at that age? Were there people that you were looking at or reading about or seeing on TV that inspired you to do these things?
Because I wasn't following much about these people, but when I start to meet with some. Like there is a man called Benjamin Zephaniah. He's a Jamaican Britain poet, and likely we met, but sadly last year he passed away. But he really inspired me to do so. And there is a Rwandan writers that I meet that time, and they say, yeah, you are doing good, keep doing what you are doing. I met with Gachire Diodone. He's one of good writers we have. He has that time the book called The Dreaming Child. When I read it, I was like, yeah, he's writing the good style that I can be doing at the same. And so I started to connect with him, and still now he's my best friend. Wow. And there is another man, he's called Samata Sisigatwa. He's I used to see him afar, but he's really good when what he's doing. And then other people like Gairify, like whenever they come away, but there are more. We have amazing writers here. Poets, there are few, but writers,
the poets are not as many.
Yeah, they are not as many.
And then along the way, you studied Imfura Heritage, huh? At what point did you start?
I started working it as not organization, because for me, I see myself as an activist. I don't want an organization to do what I do, so I just do it. But later on, people advised me to have a body where I can include all the people I had, so that I can have something that can last long. Even if I'm not here, it can keep, yeah, I can understand. And it also helped me to be able to have these rig of requirements that we are supposed to have when you are carrying these activities out. And also helps me to have some funds from different organizations as well. So
what did it take to set it off?
It's registered in 2018. Okay. That's where I started. Okay. Yeah.
Did you need a lot of money to
No. I wasn't having a job, but I still do that. The money came later on. Okay. But it's not much as well.
The few it came later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was going to ask, what was your biggest inspiration? But I guess it was the people that were talking to you and giving you different reasons that actually made you believe it would be the right thing to do. Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Okay. And so tell us how you use art and literature as tools to promote peace, because you're an activist.
Yes.
You promote human rights.
Yes.
And you're using what you have within you. Yeah. It's your voice, it's your gift.
Yes.
Tell us how you use these tools to do that.
Yeah, at the time, I had no big education background, that's what I can say. But I needed to have impact, even to the global scale. And I was like, art is a tool that you can use to bring more people at the same time, and also to create a safe space for people to talk, to have a dialogue. So for me, I use art as a tool that makes me create a safe space to bring people together and talk about what I really need to change. But also it makes me as well a tool to speak for peace. Sometimes which I could not do when I'm not an artist or a writer. Yeah, so I use what I have to tell people that you can come together rather than fighting or.
Tell me why
so.
you picked peace.
It's a long story, but let me think of.
Compress it.
Let me how let me
Because it
see
could
how I
have been
can.
anything else,
Yeah.
but you settled for peace.
It's because in normal life I'm not good at talking. You know, it's very
And you're a
hard.
very quiet person.
Yeah, but
In fact, I've never seen you talk. I just
yeah,
see you
this
reciting poems.
so yeah, art give me a voice,
Okay.
and peace is something that we grow without here, and we still see the problems around. Because peace carry a lot of things,
Yeah,
be
globally.
So for me, I think it depends on how I've grown up. Because I remember when I was young, I was living with my parents in a village where genocide survivors, they have some village, they put them in there. I've grown seeing people traumatized, living in a harsh life, and I was like, why this happened? And when they come to tell me it's Nambaranimbi, Amateka, and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, what is my contribution to make this country of ours, this continent of ours, be better in the future? And even now, we can't do that. So everyone can do something which can change big things. And I was trying to be an example to my very young people that these things can be possible, and likely I'm trying.
Wow.
Yeah.
How has that journey been so far? Because that's also such a serious weight to carry as a young person.
Yeah, it's heavy responsibilities, that's all I can say. And I'm the one who decided to do this, so I'm okay.
You keep pushing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say about the poetry scene in Rwanda?
It's
How many poets do you know around?
yeah, there are some
many,
points.
How
Yeah.
is your working environment? What do you think about the appreciation of that art?
Poetry is good. Well, that's what I can say. Maybe it is because we are few. The few opportunities we have, we share them, and it's okay for us. But
if it was a bigger number,
yeah,
you'd
if bigger
suffer.
now we suffer. Yeah, we still suffer as well. Yeah, I don't think we are at level we want to be, but we are trying to put these poems from Kinyarwanda to English to French, so that we can have big number of audience, not Rwandans. Because in Rwanda, when we are doing poetry, they take it as yeah, it's a culture, it's something they love it, but it's very hard to get something from it. And if you want to get something from it, you try to learn these other languages so that you can translate the poems in French, in English. That's where we find
If you want to make some
ourselves.
money.
Yeah, that's where we find ourselves on those stages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. How has it been so far? Does it pay the bills?
Yeah, I don't have another work now.
Oh, you have another work now, eh?
Yeah, but
Besides poetry, you do other things.
yeah, I do other things.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but poetry also pays. When it pays, it pays very
Okay,
well.
yeah.
But I don't perform in many events for my choice, because poetry is something you just have to do for good reason. Yeah.
And for an audience that
For
really
that
appreciates
really
it.
appreciate it, and they want to listen.
And want to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm asked to perform somewhere, I just want to see the audience I'm going to meet. If it's about music, sometimes these people who does music, they invite us to their shows, but it's very, very hard to perform in shows that include audience like that.
Because I am there for the music. I'll not listen.
Yeah,
to what you say.
poetry, and people don't. These days, it is not everyone want to think. They most of people don't want to think a lot. They
Life is
just
too
want,
fast.
yeah, too fast.
And the concentration span
Yeah.
is small.
Yeah, sure. But we try to write books.
Yeah.
When we collect these poems into books,
Okay.
that's where you get some money because people buy books.
Oh, yeah.
And
People buy books.
yeah,
Huh?
they buy books. And
That's
also in different, and these things makes you be known by some important people, can really give you something to do in order to survive in other ways. But when it comes to poetry, it's good as well because I have been on different stages and I've seen how impactful it is. And
Has it taken you to different countries around the world?
yeah, sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to Mfuranzima Fred. He's a poet, he's an activist as well. He's a writer. When we come back, we'll get to know more about some of the books that he's written. He said 5 books. We'll just get to know the titles of those books and the inspiration behind it. But we'll also want to know how he involves the youth in the work that he does. How does he make sure that the youth are engaged? Thank you for being with us on The Real Talk. We are live on RTV and on YouTube. Share the link so that we have our people come on board and not miss the conversation. We are at Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kyiv. Welcome back. This is The Real Talk, and we hope that the season is going well for you. Thank you for being part of the show. The hashtag is The Real Talk. If you post a message, both Fred and I will be online. We will be responding to you. Mfuranzima Fred is on different social media platforms. You can get to know more about him and know more about the organization Imfura Heritage that he started. Fred, talking about books that you're passionate about.
Yes.
So do you write only about children, or rather children books, or have you written other books as well, targeting adults?
Yeah, I've written books targeting different people,
Okay.
different communities. For instance, the recent book is called Beyond the Borders of Hate. That's how I can translate it. But
Oh, it's in Rwanda.
it's
Is the
in
title in Rwanda?
Rwanda, Swahili, and English.
Okay.
But I wrote it in Rwanda, and then they translated it into those other languages. The book is talking about the region of Africa Great Lakes, Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, and the DR Congo.
TRC.
So it's a combination of stories that I've written through the way when I was in a program by Interpeace called Youth Lab. And this program was, it took 3 years when we was traveling these countries, learning more about their cultures, about conflict in the region and that. So I come up with the idea to write some poems through those that I have met, and the book is called that because this region have been characterized by conflicts based on religion, ethnic
Backgrounds.
all of them. So I said, let me come up with these poems that can tell a story in good way so that everyone can find them in the story.
In the stories,
yeah,
yes, they can
the
find
stories
themselves
are inclusive, yeah.
Okay, so you write on your own? Do you have a publisher that you've consistently worked with, or do you work with different people?
No, I have my own publishing house, which is called Imfura Publishing House. It's coming, it's under
It's from
Imfura
Imfura
Heritage.
Heritage, okay.
And also I work with other publishers as well. This time I have worked with another publisher from Singapore.
Okay.
So they are the one publishing the book. So yeah.
These books are available in bookstores?
Yes, but the launch, we made the pre-launch event in
That's
Rwanda.
for the recent book?
Yeah, for the recent one. We made a pre-launch here in Kigali and then in Kampala, but we are looking where, anything in Bujumbura.
Nice.
So I'm looking for making official launch, then we can announce where they can find book. And then, yeah, stuff like that.
Nice.
And the official launch is on 21st of March next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I'll be here waiting for that.
And you were invited.
Thank you very
You were
much.
the first person to be invited.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yes.
So tell me how you involve young people in the work that you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Through Imfura Heritage, and I have another organization called Dreams in Dialogue. It's bringing young people, young artists together just to talk about dreams in storytelling, poetry, and music. But also we have this Imfura Heritage working with community members in peace building and also in mental health and the social entrepreneurship. So we have created different platforms and even programs that bring together young innovators also to come up with their own ideas so that they can go in communities, create their own organizations as well. So this time we have more of young organizations came from those programs. And for now we count many young people because in every event we host and every workshop, in every train we target young people. But we also involve other generations of age, like be our grandmothers, be our mothers, so that they can also be included into those programs.
Okay.
Yeah, to create a generation understanding.
Why is it important to create that generational dialogue?
It is important
And I'm asking that question.
Yes.
I recently hosted Tristan.
Okay.
You're almost doing the same work, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure you partner in some instances.
Yeah, they used to
Yeah.
invite me to their events.
Exactly. Why is it important that we have that generational dialogue?
It is because the conflict that we have now, it is not that much. It's between young generation and other generations because we have different culture now because of different influences. This time young people have more influences than before.
Yeah, than we did.
And the other generation, they seem not to understand the dreams, inspirations of young people. So it's better they come together so that they can create a bond to bring a common understanding and also to find common solutions for the future of Rwanda and the future of Africa. Because if not, we are going to create bias between other generations and a young generation. Yeah, that's why. And also for this community of Rwanda, it's very hard to find other generation and young generation at the same time talking. And for us, we prefer now to bring them to talk on good memories and also on dreams. That's why the organization, the program is called Dreams in a Dialogue. They come together to discuss dreams because there are young people who have brilliant ideas, brilliant social businesses, even creative and innovative ideas, but other generations which have money, they don't understand.
They don't understand these
they
ideas.
don't understand these ideas. But when they come together and they discuss, sometimes they can even become the investors.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, after they have understood, they will invest.
Yeah, yeah.
When you look back at your life, is there something you look at and say, if it wasn't for this God-given skills, these gifts, I wouldn't be here? What is it that you would say you've really gained from art and literature?
Everything, actually.
Everything that you actually...
Yeah, everything.
Even just being able to sit here with me.
Yeah, even
because if it wasn't for being on stage, maybe you would never have been able to talk.
Yeah, that's it. And everywhere I have been these days, in everything I'm passing through, where I'm staying right now, my life is changing to better, and it's all because of art and because of poetry, because of writing, because of connections that I can make in this journey. And all the challenges as well comes from art.
It's good. And
so it's vice versa. And
yeah.
when you have these responsibilities, sometimes you fail to meet some, and sometimes you are exhausted, and it's very hard to learn at the same time working. So because everything I'm doing to me is new, so I'm learning everything and putting it in place.
At least you're still young. You have the advantage of
Yeah,
age. Yeah.
and it is the challenge. It is also a challenge.
It's
as
also a
well.
challenge.
Yeah.
You know, musicians organize concerts for their fans.
Yes.
And they even earn from it. What do poets do? Where do your fans find you? What do you call your shows?
It's a hard question. Most of people used to ask. But for me, let me tell, depending on my experience.
Your own experience.
So for me, I have a monthly event taking place, and people come. I don't charge. I just invite, but I have some sponsorship from different organizations. And I also earn from my books. That's why I can say, and the concerts. They invite me through different conferences to perform. So for poets, we don't prefer concerts. We prefer meetings because that's where people can understand our. Because when we go out for parties, and you can't go to a concert. People come to enjoy music, and you are bringing poetry. Last time I tried to perform at Gen Z Comedy, they had they invited me to perform, and it was really challenging. People were shouting. For me, I was like, this is not the stage I was hoping for. So it was really hard.
When you're on stage, you want silence.
Yeah, and but when I started to perform, people kept quiet, look at me, trying to listen. Few people understood, and others came to me. What were you talking about?
What were you talking about?
I was like, and the others said, we love poetry, but we don't see much events of it. So it's better you create your own events, and that's what I'm planning to do next year. To have my own show of poetry, of poets. Then those poets, lovers can find us there.
That would be very good.
Yeah.
This festive season, do you have any activities that you have planned?
Yeah, I have an event in Uganda at the British Council, so it is so challenging to me because I'm performing in different places, and to organize my own event is very hard. So I prefer going where they organize and they perform.
And then they invite you.
Yeah.
So that is British Council in Uganda. How about here at home? Do you have anything for us?
Yeah, here there is an event at Ingingi Gallery. That's where I'm going to perform. It's an evening of poetry. And I think people will come enjoying that stuff. Yeah, last time they did. It was really interesting. No, it's around. When I come from Uganda, I will have it,
Last time you had it, people came?
Yeah, I love them. And they was like, why don't you have these shows every time? But it's very hard to organize events and at the same time be a performer. It's so challenging. But we can invite investors in this sector.
Talking about that, I wanted to know if you do all these things on your own.
Yeah,
because
I do it on my own.
You need a team. Have you considered?
Yeah, I have a team, but the team only comes when I have budget because it's
you also cannot keep them around if you're not paying them.
Yeah, you cannot keep them.
And yet there are certain shows you organize on your own without money, without sponsorship.
Yeah, of course I do. Well, I sponsor myself when it comes on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your future plans? You're currently studying. You've done some work with Interpeace. You have undergone training and numerous studies on peace building and activism. What do you see as your future?
I see my future as I see it today. Let me be honest. I see my future as a present because I don't know what business. But whenever I'm doing whatever I'm doing, I am doing it for tomorrow. Because when I am writing a book, I don't write for now, I write for the future.
Yet your future is the present.
Yeah, it's a present.
Yeah, you want to live maximally today.
Yeah, I just live.
You don't know about tomorrow.
Yeah, that's how I live.
So if I asked you where do you see yourself in 10 years, you wouldn't give me an answer to that question.
when I'm still here, I will grow. I believe in growing, so I will grow in everything. So I will be somewhere, I believe that.
I love
Yeah.
that. Okay, so you hinted on organizing your own events next year. What are some of those things you envision? What are the plans that you have for the new year?
For the new year, I have plans to. This year, I was into the research, community-based projects, and also in NGOs. By next year is for performances, and is for exhibitions, is for global scale events. I have also connected to different international organizations, which they are going to help me to organize events in global scale, on a global scale. So I'm working on it because these things needed some time to prepare. So I was preparing. That's why this 2020, this year, 24, I was into planning, also doing researches, writing books, because I have 4 new books that I'm going to release next year. Next year, you will see me a lot.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
You've been working behind the scenes. Now
Yeah,
you're
I
going
was
to come
behind
out.
the scene.
Yeah.
Except 2023, I was outside as well.
Yeah.
So I take 1 year hiding myself and another showing
1 year is
up.
for cooking.
Yeah.
Then the next year is for serving.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm doing.
Our school curriculum, our education system, how can it help in nurturing young talents, young poets, and public speakers? What do we do to make sure that we are not struggling to speak in public when we are 20? What do you think can be done in school at a young age to impart these skills in the young children?
I think our schools, our education system, I think they are doing it nowadays because they let students talk.
At least. They're exposing.
Before, talking at school was considered as a crime. So now everyone can talk, you can ask, you can feel free to ask a question, so it's good, and I believe it is going to create more of public speakers. So for us, we grow as shy people, we keep quiet.
We were not given that exposure.
Yeah, we didn't even allow to talk in front of other people, so we was just there to listen. That's why more Rwandans are good at listening, but at talking it's somehow hard. But now it's okay, people are starting to understand, and I thank these organizations, non-government organizations, helping people to start understanding that people have to talk and
express themselves.
Express themselves openly. Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you so much. What advice would you give to someone who wants to follow your example, follow your footsteps? A young and upcoming.
Yeah, they have to believe themselves and also know what they can do best, because you cannot be good at anything.
At everything.
So it's better that they focus on what they believe they are best at. Even if it's not really appreciated in the community or in our society, you can make it big.
They should keep going.
And also they have to learn, to keep learning. For me, I'm trying to learn everything, be languages, be social skills, be economic skills, be international skills, and also to release this fear of not going outside, because for me, I started to go outside and it changed my mindset and over the perspective I have on arts, on activism. So it gave me a big experience by also traveling.
And exposure.
Exposure
Traveling
as
is
well.
good, yeah. Getting away from your usual environment is very helpful.
Yeah.
That's great. We're going to look at your 6 Qs. Thank you so much, Fred.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on The Real Talk. So happy to have you and it is the festive season. Please check out Hotel Mythos, find out what packages they have for you during this season. Let's celebrate Christmas. Our guest is Fred. I love him so much. He's such a quiet, nicely dressed guy. He's soft-spoken, my goodness. Not like some colleagues I have in this room who talk a lot. I was saying that earlier. Let's have a look at his 6 Qs. Welcome back. It is 6 Qs. Fred, my first question to you is, what do you love most about your job?
It makes me understood and understand.
Oh, it makes you understand, but you also get understood.
Yes.
I love that, okay? And that is what you love most about your job.
Yeah, that's
that
it.
when you have something you want to say, you will say it, and you're sure if you say it in that
even,
manner,
yeah,
it will be understood.
Everything I do, they say, he's a poet.
I know.
That's why.
Oh,
so,
you get away with it.
Yeah, I get away with it. Yeah.
And what one word best describes you?
Peace.
Peace?
Yeah.
Peace, peaceful, peace.
No, that's a peace in everything.
I like that.
Peace of mind. I was trying to help myself have this peace of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And peace of mind is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can describe myself as a freedom. Let me just put it that way.
Freedom.
Yeah.
My question number 3. You're only 27. Do you have any regrets in life?
A lot of them.
A lot of them?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
A young man shouldn't.
Because I am so curious about everything. So that makes me find myself in situation that I don't really want it to be in. So there are
sometimes you land in trouble, yeah?
Yeah, and I overthink. That's why I overthink even on my mistakes. Yeah.
We're many there. You'll find it not really easy to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
You might even forgive others, but you won't easily forgive yourself for mistakes that you make.
Yeah.
Okay, then what was the lowest moment of your career?
Lowest moment. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have one really. You've just been going.
Because
up,
I just not compete with anyone, so I just go on my pace. I follow what I have planned and what.
And you don't have any bad days. Yours are always constant.
I try to see good things in any day.
In any day.
You will find not today, but I always I always wear a T-shirt or a cap called a good day because I believe every day is a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And then when you look back at all the times that you have performed on different stages, which one was your best? Where did you enjoy most?
Can I make them 3?
3?
3,
okay.
yeah, 3. Because the best event that I have performed in and makes me feel like I can do it is at Elman Peace Forum. I don't know if you know Elman Peace Forum. It's an organization from Canada. So they just work in sub-Saharan countries. So it was a big forum, and I performed there. Everyone was listening. I was really understood and got more connections. So it built confidence in me so that I can make it. The other event is Holocaust Commemoration Day. I performed there twice, and I have connected with more of international community because there is every country represented, and you find big names that I can call them there, and when they appreciate what you are doing, it's really inspiring to me. The other one is the one we met in Global Citizen, Move Africa.
Yeah.
Because at Move Africa was my first experience to perform in a concert. So because there were big names like Kendrick Lamar, Bruce.
It was such a noisy place.
Yeah, noise place.
God,
was so
noisy.
challenging.
I don't know how you held your cool.
Yeah.
And finished this performance.
Yeah.
So it's those 3. Okay, and lastly, what would you say to your younger self? Because that advice you give to your younger self will be taken by a young person that is seeing you on TV.
Okay, the advice I can give my young self is we've born in different situations, but the situations we are in, or we will be in the future, we are the ones to create them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will be born in a certain circumstance, certain situation, but you determine the future.
Yeah.
And you can work hard to transform it or change your situation.
Yeah. What they need is only to be, to have a willing to do so.
The willingness.
The willing to create ability.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Fred. We're so happy that you made time for us.
Okay.
And we do wish you well with the plans that you have in the near future and the grand plans that you have for next year.
Yes.
Now, before you go, it will be wrong for me to allow a poet to go without reciting a poem for us. Please, the mic is yours.
Thank you. So, anyway, I don't have a poem. What will come out?
Is what you will give it.
Yeah.
You'll go by this with what the spirit inspires
Yeah,
you. Okay,
yeah,
please.
sure. As you see me, I'm a black. I'm a boy. I'm an African. I feel as a man. I feel as a boy. But sometimes I don't understand what it means to be an African. Sometimes in places like schools or things, treated like, yes, you are an African, but you're not representative of Africa. So then I ask myself, am I an African or not? More than being an African, I'm poor African, and say here in Africa, there are no classes because everybody is working class. So they say here we have achieved some differentiations of certain skills. There are the Africans who have cars in the houses, and there are the Africans in the Dakar house. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. Among of those Africans in the Dakar house, but I wake up every morning wondering if I'm going to sleep in the same bed that night in the place I'm living right now. Whether the family with different things bad, be PE war, genocide, hip-hop, reggae, Afrobeat, the marijuana. But I dare to dream, and I dream big. Whenever they say here in Africa we dream, but our dreams are just like a little bird, just from a high tree to die because the guy no pretty cara feeders on their wings to feed them to fly. But I dare to dream. In these uncommon times, when world could you, the nations fight for vanity, when love divided, hate, spy, insanity, and affected all around, million loved ones underground are still rising, and we search clues in the vein to look for someone else to blame. I just say, hold on. We light fire tonight only to keep the wild beast out of sight, but wisdom is still so hard to gain, must everything be so explained? Just remember, we claimed all those dizzy heads, only to fire show as night. But nothing really bad like a hell on earth, especially here in Africa. But I dare to dream, and dream big. Peace.
Beautiful. Did you make that up, or is it something that you have performed before? Is it a piece you've written?
I have written this when I was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was in high school, that's when I have written this one.
Beautiful. Thank you, Fred.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Please follow Mfuranzima Fred on the different platforms. Get to keep up with his work. It's been a pleasure having your company. I do wish you all the best. God bless you. We will see you next week.